If scientists found a cure for aging, how many years would you like to live?
Forever.
Forever?
Yes.
Me too. What do you think? Is it possible for us to do something in order to achieve this?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I don't know if it's possible, but my question is, if you, as you age, your organs get older and they function poorly. I don't want to be old like that. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, this is the outcome of aging. This is what we're trying to treat, what we're trying to remove because it's bad. And
Okay.
if you, yeah, if you're constantly healthy and don't become frail,
So basically, your muscles are like immune to time, right?
for me it doesn't really matter that much. For me life is the biggest value, like because no matter in which state you are alive, while you're not gone forever, you can always
Hmm.
improve it, you can always fix it by nanorobots, by super advanced medicine of the future. So my idea
But
is
for
that
example, your heart, right? It's a muscle and eventually just gets tired of beating.
I think, yeah,
You
no,
can't you can't
transplants.
make it last forever. Maybe 115 years it will be healthy, but over time the wear and tear is just comes from the doing the job.
Yeah, this is not a big problem. The biggest problem is the brain because you can't substitute it. You can substitute the heart. People are
Uh-huh.
transplanted the pig hearts. You know, there was a man in the US. They put him
Mm.
a heart of the pig, and it worked.
No.
He lived for a year.
So basically, when you say anti-aging, you will have to keep like getting transplants for things that you can't keep healthy.
As an example, maybe it will be some therapy, like maybe I don't know, like telomere lengthening, Yamanaka factors, something that makes all your cells rejuvenate automatically, like some jellyfish, which is,
Basically, sci-fi.
yeah. Transhumanism. This is transhumanism, sci-fi. Yeah,
What is I thought transhumanism is where we merge ourselves with like robotic and
yeah,
computer-based type
possibly, yes,
things,
yes.
right?
Cyborgization, yes, turning into cyborgs. It is one part of it. I don't
Okay.
believe in it that
Like
much.
I would be down to become a robot.
That's nice. But
Yeah.
I believe in biological immortality more because it's not clear. Is it
Hmm.
possible to transplant your consciousness into the machine? Like some people
Hmm.
feel that it's not really them, it's just their copy. So I think it's more reliable to just stay alive in your biological body. The question is, what
Okay.
can we do? Like, is it some action, the best action? Like, I want to live forever, and you too. Let's just unite somehow and do something about that. Because what do you think about that? Like, what is our best bet, our best action?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that much about the biomedical field, so I can't really comment on how much that's possible. But that's also why I think hardware, like sort of the robotic side is just more plausible. But as I said, that could just be because I know very little about the medical field.
Me too. I'm not a scientist, not a biologist. I'm a programmer myself. So yes, I can. My biggest hopes are in artificial intelligence, super strong AI who is going to solve all the problems for us. Like this is my
Uh,
idea. But the thing is that there are biomedical research. There are many companies which are financed by billionaires. Many of
uh,
them, like Altus Lab, Sense, Google, tried to solve something. They are literally research aging and try to reverse it.
of course, they do. That's a lot of money going in there,
They
of
don't
course. Yeah.
have they have super tiny 1/10 of a percent of the GDP of big countries. Like there is not enough funding, and I think it's only
Hmm.
possible because people don't have a demand. Like I'm asking different people, for example, on chat roulette. Most of them reply
Hmm.
70 years. I want to live for 70 years, for 80 years. I'm telling them, you will live that little anyway. Just you don't need a cure. So people don't need it. So
No, I see. Here's the thing, the demand, right? Like, I think you're going to the wrong public for this because normally the people who are funding this type of research, right? They would be people who are suffering from some kind of ailments where they need another organ or something. Maybe, especially most of the research in this field comes from the beauty kind of thing. the whole anti-aging, staying young, that field is very much from, people wanting to look young, not really be
Yeah.
young.
No. The problem is that yeah, if they are already having some ailments, some disease, it's too late. Like it is, it's not a health support. This is
No, like let's say someone has diabetes, they would love to fund something that cures it and like
there
something
is
that
yeah,
turns.
yeah. So this is a bug of a bug of our thinking. When we are already experiencing some pain, some problem, we want to give everything in order to stay alive. Like if you
Yeah.
yeah, but if the person is going to die after 70 years in the future, they don't think about that, like as if it doesn't exist. So
Yeah,
and this is the bug which is killing us because you need to do
absolutely.
something right
People are not
now.
forward thinking. Yeah,
So
that's true.
you
But
ne- what I'm trying to do with transhumanists, what we are trying to do is that we need to somehow change the cultural foundation of the society to make people
hmm
kind of open their eyes and to realize that wow, actually their death in the future is just as big of a problem as their death right now. Like it's the same
uh-huh.
death. If you are dying
Okay.
right now, you will give everything in order to stay alive. You will give all your money to treatment against diabetes, against cancer. But if the
hmm
same thing happens in the future and
Uh-huh.
you are not doing anything, and you will be in that future, you will reach that future eventually. But now
hmm
you're kind of hypnotized. You are like mesmerized by the culture which says it's okay, just live your life, just be normal, be chill. This is the problem because it is killing us. And my idea is that maybe we should increase the social demand of immortality and of anti-aging research so that the governments would fund at a much higher scale these companies which are already working. This research is happening. There are many companies, billionaires are funding them, but it's not enough.
hmm
So
Yeah.
and
This
maybe
is this is not something the majority public will care about.
yes, and but the only way for us to achieve this immortality is if everybody starts caring about that very actively. Like everybody is talking about that. Wow, it's a problem. The fact that I will die in 70 years is a big problem. If everybody thinks like that, we have a
hmm
chance, I think. And this is my idea. This is what I'm doing basically. So I'm talking with
hmm
people and I'm trying to first of all understand them. With you it's a little bit better because you're already kind of on the same page as me. But
Yeah.
most people, I'm trying to understand why do they not think about that. They are afraid of even thinking about that. Like it's taboo. This topic is a taboo.
Yeah. Now it's kind of, I think it's because this problem, like, it's not in their face, right? Like people don't think about cancer until they have cancer.
Yeah. So say forever. This is the project. So I'm talking with people, asking them this question, and most of them reply, I want to only live for 70 years. And
hmm
I'm trying to talk with them and to recognize their patterns of thinking. Why do they not to extend their life? Some people reply they want to live for 300 years, like longer than normal, but still it's not worth it. So if the person wants to live for 300 years, for example, it is better than normal. Like you still need some medicine, right? You still need some pills, some treatment in order to extend your
Yeah.
life up to 300 years, but it's not worth it. Like you can live your normal life 70 years without trying to find this cure. And I'm kind of trying to compel them to reply forever because
hmm
only then it makes sense to do everything in order to achieve
They
that.
need they need to see the, point of living forever, right?
Yeah, they say it will be boring. It is not natural. Yes, most probably they reply it's boring, and I don't know what to do with that. Like, how do you make people think that it's not boring? I sometimes say that nobody
And
has killed themselves.
honestly, if they're so bored of life, they should just, I think it's better if they die. It's
No,
not for them, like
yeah, but
I don't understand how people get bored. We have like a limitless world around us, and you can keep doing shit.
But if you don't explain it, you need to somehow explain it to them, because maybe it's just a cop out. Maybe they realize that it's impossible, and they are trying to just give some random reply. For example, overpopulation, the same. So they don't care about overpopulation. They will not They will not send condoms to Africa because they are so worried about overpopulation. They are only replying like that if you are putting them into the corner. Like, do you want to live or not? Do you want to extend your life or not? They start imagining something. Oh, overpopulation, it will be boring. I don't know. So it's just the brain is trying to find some way.
But perhaps you need to sort of come up with a more elaborate question, that sort of gets them thinking in the right direction from the get-go.
For example, we tested several questions. I tried another question. If would you like to see the future in 300 years from now? It's a nicer question. Yes, it doesn't kind of mention death. So it's what do you think? What other questions might be? How I can improve?
I'm too high to think about that. Maybe something like that. Honestly, I think it would say this is kind of on the lines of psychological surveying, right? So
It is literally psychological survey. Yes, we have
and
volunteers.
psychology was one of my majors in college. So coming from like if you look at industrial and organizational psychology, I would say you need to sort of put like a few weeks of research time into, and have like more like a bigger comprehensive list of questions.
So look, this is our project, saveforever.org. I posted it for you in the chat. So we have many people who are doing it. This is psychological research, literally. What I am doing is the chat roulette kind of wing, chat roulette chapter. It's more related to a show, to make it interesting. But there are people who are walking in the street with what do you call it, tablets, and they ask people different questions. Like they, for example, ask, do you know about some species of animals which live forever? Have you heard about the immortal jellyfish? And people reply, yes, I have heard about that. And something else, like, do you know, what would you do? Would you like to work to achieve immortality now? What are you ready to do in order to obtain that? So they're trying to kind of poke into the society to understand why people are so rigid in their beliefs. They are so traditional. They're trying to kind of to change it in the future. And yeah, that's nice that you have a psychological education, because this is basically the biggest value of transhumanism right now. If you associate yourself with transhumanists, if you become a transhumanist, a person who wants to modify the human nature, this is very valuable, because this is the biggest problem right now. People just don't care. People are rigid and
yeah, people have like too many other things to think about, right? Like people care about things that the news tells them to care about. What's on fucking Reddit, what's on Twitter. That's it's more of like whatever is popular is generally marketing.
Yeah.
So,
deadly culture.
and as you can see, like of course, even research does get popular if you go through the right channels and market through the right people, right? Like for example, we had, what is that 16 personalities, like the MBTI thing?
I remember, but I think it's pseudoscience. It's almost pseudoscience, right? It's not.
Oh yeah, it is, but many corporations use it, adapted it, right?
For letters. For letters.
It's not entirely pseudoscience, right? Like because it's not exactly what it says it is, and the one you're getting is and the corporations are using are not really the one. It's not really useful for what they think it's useful for. But like for example, the CIA uses it, right, to pick their applicants, and they're looking for completely different things about the human nature. So I wouldn't call it entirely pseudoscience just because I know the CIA is using it. I like and based on what I've heard, like it has certain value to it. The person didn't say much about what gave it that value, right? So it was, yeah. But basically, it's a completely useless thing in everyday society. But people use it, right? And it was debunked later, like, but it got popular before anyone had the time to, what do you say, anyone had the time to peer review it. And that's how it works in research too, man. It's all money and marketing now.
We had several questionnaires. We're doing exactly that. We had questionnaires of transhumanists, in which people ask these questions like about life, about their willingness to act. I'm trying to find one, and we're trying to distribute those questionnaires.
Cool. Maybe transhumanism will be Neil deGrasse Tyson's next documentary.
Let me find it. Wait a minute. Maybe you'll have a look, because from the professional perspective. Survey, the second survey. Copy link. Maybe you'll have a look. Open Longevity. So Open Longevity is the company which made up this idea of making surveys. So we are combining many such surveys, like with similar questions about transhumanism. And the point is, first of all, so it has two reasons why we have such queries, such quizzes and questionnaires. First of all, to find people who want to act, to want to help us, to work together. And second, to inform other people that it exists, that like those questions, they kind of loaded slightly. So you ask a question and you kind of give some information by asking this question. The person starts thinking about that. So maybe you will have some ideas to improve. Join our chat, actually. We're on Telegram. You use Telegram.
Not really.
What?
So I have an idea. Honestly, you should approach senior citizens, because they are the people who are going to care about this the most, and they also have a lot of capability to fund.
We don't really need funding right now with money. We need to somehow spread this idea all over the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all people have the most influence out of any age group.
Maybe
they will care about your research, because the older you get, the more the fear of death you have. So honestly, yeah, I would totally do that if I wanted to, like, if I had those ambitions.
Let me. So if you're interested in seeing how we work and what we're doing, so this is
Oh yeah,
Telegram
I will
chat.
definitely check out your website and stuff.
So website, it's just landing. It's just a beautiful picture. The whole information is on Telegram. If you have this messenger, like we're discussing strategies, how to approach people, how to influence the society. So this is.
No, I don't need to know those details.
Okay. So if you are
like, don't get me wrong. I share your vision. But frankly, I'm not gonna myself indulge into that, because there's other things that benefit me more in life.
Okay.
So it's yeah.
So you would like...
I don't care about changing people that much.
Yes. So you would like to live forever, but you don't want to kind of to do much about that. You would like to just have your normal nice life.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing, right? Like, if we want to change things and do this, like, that would make a huge difference in my life, right? Like, today I'm retired, I don't work, and I did that because I don't want to do shit. I just want to relax, smoke weed, and
good job.
If I put myself to a social cause, that would just end everything that I've worked for, right? Like, the thing I want to do in life. I don't want to live forever if I have to work and do a bunch of stuff. I want to live forever if I can just smoke weed and relax.
Yeah, I understand.
And also, the research is nowhere near close, right? So that's also why.
Maybe this is why you replied forever, because you're so chill. You're not struggling. You're not in the rat race. And
Yeah.
so I understand. But yeah. So and if you start struggling hard in order to extend your life, in order to achieve this eternal life, your life will become not interesting anymore. Like it will be just a toil, hard
Like
toil.
now it's just a lot of hard work. Life is not fun anymore, right? Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah, this is a paradox. This is a paradox, and we're trying to solve it to somehow find arguments. So maybe
Yes, see, that's what I'm saying. There's people who, who have other motivations to live forever rather than just being lazy. And those are the people that will work hard for it.
no, this is a great motivation. This is my motivation. I want to be like you. Yes, it's nice. Let's be lazy. Let's enjoy life. This is great. But you will enjoy your normal life like 70 years. And there might be the potential infinity, the potential immortality of enjoyment. But maybe it is worth to spend this little life working to obtain immortality, and then you will have the whole infinite amount of time when you can chill and enjoy life and do whatever you want. Like it will be the amount of value which you receive from the utilitarian perspective. It will be worth it, maybe. But you need to believe that it's possible, right? You need to believe that you will not spend your short life working for nothing, for
Yeah.
because you don't believe that it might be feasible, that it might be achieved.
Yeah, it's not a, gamble. Like it's not a gamble I'm willing to take, right? Like, because based on like the average human statistic, I expect myself to live around 70, right? And like if I stop getting erections, if life stops being fun, then I'll just OD, right? Like after some point.
Yeah. So
So the biological field, the medical field needs to be a lot more advanced in order to sort of support the kind of effort where I could think like, okay, this might happen in the next 5 years.
mhm. So we need to make it look like it's possible. Like what is the percent? For example, imagine you work hard and I work hard, and there is some group of people who works hard.
Hmm.
What do you think is the chance that we will obtain some cure, like longevity, escape velocity, when you
Okay, so let me explain this in more like calculable terms, right? Like, that heart transplant thing I said. Now, many people die of heart diseases, right? So if you take these major organs that cause like death in people, uh, when those things are commonplace for the public, I think that's when it would be a good idea for everyone to do that, right? If you need to replace a heart, let's say once every 100 years or so,
Mhm.
it's gonna cost a lot of money. Do you know how much it costs to get a pig heart right now, and what kind of waiting list there is, and how few places are offering that service?
Well, they will become cheaper. It's like the phones. Everything becomes
That's
cheaper with time.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like first, the public needs to sort of get used to the idea that transplants are easily accessible. We need to make organs more accessible, right? Like there's a lot of people who die, and we're just wasting their organs that could perfectly be used by other people.
Yeah.
So there needs to be a lot of sort of other changes before this whole transhumanism mindset is actually ready for practical life for the majority public, in my opinion. So I would say probably if we're lucky, then maybe by the end of this century.
The immortality will be achieved. No, the question is not that. The question is not when the immortality will be achieved, if we just live our lives, if we are chilling, and if everything goes as it goes. The question is if we do something, if we think about that, if we perform actions to influence the
Uh-huh.
society, to influence the progress, to change the social demand, to maybe we will be able to spread some meme which infects all the world, and every person will
Uh,
become aware of our mortality, and all the people will just stop going to football matches, stop paying to some entertainment, and they will just work
yeah, but
hard.
the next day they're gonna get a huge bill in the mail, or they have to pay their rent, and they're gonna forget all about it.
Yeah, no. They are spending their money to entertainment, for example, or to military, or to some other stuff which is not very important, like some spare time activities. What if everybody, if we do something, some influence of the society, like I managed to convince you and then everybody else that it is worth to work hard to achieve immortality because
What
you're
happens next?
yeah, yeah. So then, if we do something, what is the chance that it will be obtained, that we will succeed? Like 1% that we will become practically immortal or not aging, or zero,
Here's what I think will happen. It's gonna be a popular trend for maximum 5 to 10 years, during which a bunch of snake oil companies are gonna come up.
It is already
There's
like
gonna
that.
be a bunch of scandals, and
This is the
then
current situation. This is how it is
yeah,
like that. We have snake oil. Every
yeah. So, but like, once all of the public really cares about it and believes it can actually happen, right? Like right now, most of the people think this whole thing is just people kidding themselves, right? And I don't even think majority public has ever given it a serious thought at this point. But if those many people actually cared about it, then the stakes would be much higher. The scandals would be much bigger, right? Like just like with cryptocurrency, right? It's still in its infancy. It's a great idea, but it's not just ready yet.
No, there is a lot of scam while it is immature. In the
Yeah,
cryptocurrency, there is a lot of scam
and
while it
it
is.
it is a part of process,
Yeah.
you know. Cryptocurrencies, I believe it's the future, and I'm pretty sure due to the industry gatekeeping, like the governments who control everything are going to be the one who bring out the actual cryptocurrencies that last long.
Yeah. So, I think the idea of the cryptocurrency is to be separated from the governance. That's the point. To be free, to be
Yeah,
anarchy.
decentralization.
Yeah. But the
But
point,
like
look.
no, but my reasoning, let me come to the point, right? Um, Similarly, I think this field of work, it's going to be controlled by the pharmaceuticals and the beauty industry. Like they are the gatekeepers of this industry, right? They're gonna be the one who decide, right, what people think about this.
It is controlled, yes. The National Institute of Health in the US, it has the wing which studies Alzheimer or aging. It is controlled by the governments,
Yeah.
especially in the US, but not enough funding. And the question, look, this is the point, the biggest kind of uh, point in which we are bifurcating. So your idea is that
Hmm.
it is good to live forever, but you don't believe that if you spend your time, your energy, your resources, you will have a big enough chance to obtain it. Because my idea,
There are other things I can do with that time, strength, and resources, which is worth way much more than pursuing this goal in its infancy.
yes, because the question is about the chance. Like, what is the chance? Like, if I work very hard, I will have, for example, 1% chance to obtain the immortality during my lifetime. But if I don't work hard, if I'm just living as I am, I will have 0.5% chance of obtaining the
Yeah,
immortality.
yeah, those chances, like they're not big enough for me to care.
Yes, and this is the question. Like, what is the big enough chance? What do you, how do you estimate it right now? And
100%.
so you think that we don't have any chance, no matter what we do, it's just impossible to obtain longevity escape
No,
velocity.
no, no, no. Like I said, I would only do it if there was 100% chance of making this come true in the next 10 years, maybe 15.
Hmm. So you're kind of
That's the only
searching.
way I would pursue this.
Mhm. So for me, for example, like how I think about that, there is 0.1% chance that I will obtain it. But if I work very hard, and if I convince
Hmm.
you to work very hard, if I do everything, my chance increases from 0.1% to 1%. Okay, so I
Yeah,
put my
that's
whole
it.
life
That's
and
that's just not enough of a percentage.
yeah, and I only have 1% chance. But if this chance succeeds, I obtain the eternality, like eternal confirmation, like what do you call it? Utility. The utility
Well, yeah,
becomes
but
eternal.
that's not enough for me to commit to even to live forever.
So you understand that there might be eternal utility of chill, like eternal, infinite. Nothing is better than that.
I
Nothing.
mean, listen, death is the chillest thing in the world. So I have nothing against it. Yeah, I'm completely okay to die any day.
Okay, interesting. Well, it's a very interesting talk. I learned a lot. Thank you. I
All
have
right,
to
man.
go.
It's been lovely talking to you. Have a good
Bye.
one.